Brought to you by...
Many of us are introduced to the horrors that exist out there through the lens of the cinema. Some began in the Disney Palace, with Fantasia, the Evil Queen, and many others, while those like me began with Knife-Fingered Freddy and vulgar dolls like Chucky. But imagine sitting in your living room, late one night, experiencing the reality that the devil is real, and that he is being broadcast directly to your home through national television. Happy Halloween, friends, and welcome back to ETF. Recently, horror has been evolving, taking a turn into the more obscure, and giving birth to new and inventive types of stories. One of which we were gifted this year follows a Johnny Carson rival, Jack Delroy, who hosts a syndicated talk show called Night Owls, that has long been a trusted companion to insomniacs around the country. However, ratings for the show have plummeted since the tragic death of Jack's beloved wife. Desperate to turn his fortunes around, on October 31st, 1977, Jack plans a Halloween special like no other, unaware he is about to unleash evil into the living rooms of America.
But you're not gonna dead.
This film's prologue is framed as a documentary, investigating an unexplained event that occurred on the night of Halloween 1977, carried by the very recognizable voice of none other than Michael fucking Ironside. Why? Who cares? It's awesome. Who essentially is introducing us not just to the world of the movie, but the character of Jack Delroy himself. We learn that through his celebrity connections, Jack makes regular visits to The Grove, an elite California camp for rich and powerful men. Sometime later, his wife Madeline dies of cancer, and her death has major effects on Jack, and Night Owls halts its production. Jack ultimately returns, and in order to boost the show's ratings, decides to do this special occult-themed episode on Halloween, setting the stage for the events that we are going to see unfold. Production on Late Night with the Devil was announced on February 13th, 2022, with Image Nation and the American genre label Spooky Pictures attached. Describing their decision to base the movie around a late-night talk show, writer-director duo Cameron and Colin Cairnes stated that in the 70s and 80s there was something slightly dangerous about late-night TV. Talk shows in particular were a window into some strange adult world. We thought that combining that charged live-to-air atmosphere with the supernatural could make for a uniquely frightening film experience. Now, I won't go so far as to say that this film was particularly frightening per se, but it is intrinsically unique by design. The Cairnes brothers offered the role of Jack to David Duchovny. I'm terribly sorry if I butchered that. I never know how to say this actor's name, but I fucking love him. They offered it to him after reading an article that the actor wrote for the magazine Fangoria about regional TV horror hosts. David accepted the part after being sent a lookbook designed to resemble a 70s TV guide, along with the film's script. Late Night with the Devil was shot in Melbourne, Australia, and utilized practical special effects, including puppetry, along with digital visual effects. The film also, almost infamously, utilizes AI art, although directors later said that only 3 images were AI generated. This was a very hot-button issue, as it was revealed during the current climate when AI-generated art of any kind is sort of looked down on as a cheap way out of paying artists for their hard work. In the weeks leading up to the film's release, some reviewers pointed out this AI-generated art in several scenes, which were not present in the version screened at South by Southwest, and ended up calling for a boycott of the film due to this. In response to the controversy, the directors said, "In conjecture with our amazing graphics and production design team, all of whom worked tirelessly to give the film this 70s aesthetic we had always imagined, we experimented with AI for 3 still images, which we edited further, and ultimately appear as very brief interstitials in the film." Now, this is possibly going to be the one and only time I discuss the subject, but I will try to keep it brief. I personally don't think that there is a problem using AI in your work. I would much rather have art created by a person who put their heart and soul into the work to create something unique and special, but sometimes you just need something quick and don't have access to an artist for hire. I view AI as a tool, and one that I think can be kind of helpful in certain situations. Do I think we should completely rely on it? No, not at all. I have seen Terminator, and that eventuality truly does fucking terrify me. Anyway, back to the movie. I want to talk a little bit about the approach to the practical effects in this film, especially since this was a movie that had far more practical effects than I expected it to. The film's practicals are a testament to the craftsmanship of the production team. The supernatural elements, including ghostly apparitions and unsettling occurrences, are brought to life through practical means. This approach not only enhances the realism of the horror, but also pays homage to the classic horror films that relied on practicals to create the scares. The cinematography and visual design play a crucial role in establishing the film's eerie atmosphere. The use of shadows, dim lighting, and close-up shots create a sense of intimacy and immediacy, drawing the audience into the unfolding horror. The visual contrast between the brightly lit television studio and the dark, shadowy corners adds a tension and unease. At its core, Late Night with the Devil is a study of fear, guilt, and the human desire for redemption. Centering around Jack, this late-night talk show host whose show takes a sinister turn during a live broadcast, the narrative cleverly uses the confined spaces of this TV studio to heighten the sense of claustrophobia and escalating tension. One of the film's primary psychological themes is the nature of guilt and how it manifests in different forms. Jack is haunted by the death of his wife, a tragedy that looms over him and influences his decisions throughout the film. His desperation for redemption and his willingness to exploit the supernatural for ratings reflects his inner turmoil and moral conflict. The film also explores the impact of collective fear and mass hysteria. As the live broadcast progresses, the studio audience's fears become palpable, mirroring the fear likely experienced by the viewers at home. This communal experience of fear serves as a commentary on the power of media to manipulate and amplify emotions. Cameron and Colin's direction is a standout aspect of the film. Their meticulous attention to detail in creating this 70s TV studio environment is absolutely commendable. The film's production design, from the set decor to the costumes, authentically captures the era, immersing the audience in the time period. The director's decision to shoot much of the film using practical effects rather than relying heavily on CGI adds a layer of realism to the horror elements. This practical approach enhances the authenticity of the supernatural occurrences, making them feel more tangible and immediate. The use of lighting and camera angles effectively creates an atmosphere of dread, contributing to the film's psychological intensity and tapping into that popular found-footage realism. David delivers a compelling performance as Jack, embodying the character's complexities and vulnerabilities. His portrayal of a man grappling with guilt and desperation is both sympathetic and unsettling. His ability to convey a range of emotions from charm to terror anchors the film and keeps the audience utterly engaged. The supporting cast also delivers strong performances. The ensemble, including actors playing the studio crew and guests, effectively captures the dynamics of a live broadcast under duress. The interactions between the characters add depth to the narrative, highlighting themes of ambition, fear, and a search for truth to some degree. The filmmakers obviously aim to delve into several overarching themes here, including consequences of exploiting fear for entertainment, the search for redemption, and the thin line between reality and the supernatural. The film critiques the media's role in the sensationalizing of fear, and the ethical dilemmas faced by those who seek to manipulate public perception for personal gain. The theme of redemption is central to Jack's character arc. His journey from a broken, guilt-ridden man to someone willing to confront his demons is both harrowing and poignant. The film's exploration of redemption is straightforward. It questions whether true redemption is achievable or if it is merely an illusion. The blurring of reality and the supernatural is also significant. The film plays on the audience's perception of what's real and what's imagined, creating a sense of uncertainty and unease, especially towards the climax. The thematic ambiguity is mirrored in the characters' experiences, as they grapple with their own beliefs and fears. Late Night with the Devil is a masterfully crafted psychological horror film that excels in its exploration of fear, guilt, and redemption. The Cairnes brothers' direction, combined with the powerful performances and the film's commitment to practical effects, creates an immersive and unsettling experience. The film's thematic depth and atmospheric tensions make it a standout entry in the psychological horror genre, and I'll go as far as to say the possession genre, offering a chilling commentary on the power of media and the human psyche. One particular practical element that I would like to touch on right before I wrap up here is that I've heard a lot of hate go towards the whole splitting head climax sequence, which uses a blend of practical effects, puppetry, and a little bit of CGI. A lot of people seem to be hating on this effect due to the CGI addition, which I will admit is noticeable. However, I equated this to being similar to how movies from the 80s would utilize rotoscoping. Think Star Wars and Force Lightning. The CGI in this sequence is utilized in a very similar way, and I think it sort of pays homage to that old school style of effects that couldn't be done in a live practical sense. Personally, I thought it was pretty cool, and I don't understand all the hate. Maybe I just don't look at it the same way everyone else seems to. Well, friends, that's going to be all for now. As always, I implore you to check out this film for yourself, take my opinion for what it's worth, but more importantly, I urge you to formulate your own. If you enjoyed this video, please consider giving it a like, subscribe for more content, and if you really want to help support ETF, we do still have a Patreon, and every little bit helps this channel grow, and honestly is all put towards helping us turn this into what we do full time. Until next time, stay safe, and as always, thanks for watching.